What day are we today? It's Happy Wednesday, everybody. I am so glad that you could be here with me today. Okay, we are coming up on Valentine's Day. It is February 11th, 2022. Can you believe it's 2022 already? Not only is it 2022, but we're already a month and a half in. So, what are we going to do to make 2022 special? Well, I'm thinking for me, it's going to involve a haircut pretty soon. What's it going to involve for you? What do you need to do to make you special to you, to treat yourself for Valentine's Day? You're going to go for a massage. You're going to spend an hour reading a book. You're going to go for a walk and enjoy the weather. What is it that you're going to do to enjoy Valentine's Day? I know what I'm going to do just now. I am just right in the middle of making things upside down here. Okay, let's see. Why is this not working? You know, I think I have everything all organized and all ready, and then it doesn't work. Okay, so I think we're here. I think we are. Okay, let's see what we can accomplish here today. We are going to make chocolate soup. Now, if you have always thought that dessert should be part of the main course, I am with you on that 100%. It just kind of hurt my heart a little bit when I had to tell my kids, no, you can't have cake for dessert or cake for supper, because I would have rather had cake for supper. But it isn't okay for us to do that. We're supposed to teach them to be responsible. So today we're going to be responsible in a Valentine's Day kind of way, and we're going to have soup for supper. Okay, so chocolate soup. What on earth is it? Well, it's delicious, first of all. Second of all, it involves ridiculous amounts of chocolate and cream and coffee. Yes, I said coffee. Okay. Now, do you like the orange chocolates that you can buy, or the raspberry chocolates that you can buy? Because I'm going to tell you how you can do this and make them that way. Now, if this is not working on Facebook, go to YouTube. I'm just going to do something here. I need to have a sign to hold up that says, watch for me on YouTube, because you can see me on YouTube and we have a much more reliable picture. So do that. Now, the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to put 1 1/4 or 310, 1 1/4 cups or 310 grams of whipping cream in a pot. Now, if you like orange chocolate, then take 1/2 of a teaspoon of TSL Organics tangerine rind, or take the rind off an orange. Use a vegetable peeler. Make sure that all you get is the orange part. Don't get the white part. That's the pith, and it's not nice. You don't want to go there. Okay, now we're just going to get rid of this. So we have 1 1/4 cups of cream, 310 milliliters. To that, we are going to add 310 mils of hot coffee. Oh, that's already beautiful. Now we're going to heat this up a little bit, because we want it heated. We want it heated a bit when we add the chocolate to it. Now, the other thing that we're going to add in there, 30 grams of powdered erythritol, because we're going to be using dark chocolate, just a baker's chocolate, which is going to be lovely and luscious. Now, to the erythritol, we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now, remember, when you're adding cinnamon or the 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum that we're going to put in here, this is going to intensify. The xanthan gum is going to continue to thicken. The cinnamon is going to continue to flavor. So you may want to use less than that. Now we're adding these dry ingredients together mostly for the xanthan gum, because the xanthan gum, if you add that to a liquid by itself, it will clump. And that's not a big deal. You can take an immersion blender and just, stir it around and get everything all mixed up. Okay. Now, we are going to sprinkle this in here. This really is very easy to do. Now, if you want the orange, you can add the rind from get these out of the way. You can add the rind from one orange to your hot cream and coffee mixture. Let that steep for at least half an hour. You might want to let it steep for a couple hours, depends on how intense you want that flavor. The other thing that you can do is add some raspberry powder. I would go with about 2 tablespoons. You don't want that raspberry flavor to be overpowering, but if you want it there, you can also add more cinnamon. You can add some chili peppers. That would be fun. Chili peppers in chocolate. Oh my goodness. It just adds that wee little bit of heat, and it goes with the sweet, and it's just wonderful. And it just gets your taste buds all excited. Okay, we're going to let that heat. And while it is, we'll do it on here. We're going to chop up our chocolate. Now I could put the whole bar in there. Now this is 2 4-ounce bars. Is what I'm, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, now we have everything in the cream that we need except our chocolate. Now you are not going to want to miss Sunday's show, because on Sunday we are going to make croissants. And yes, they are keto. And yes, you can have them for Valentine's Day. And yes, we're going to make them work with our chocolate soup, which we will also do. Now, whether you are spending Valentine's Day with someone or spending it yourself, you should make sure that day is special. Valentine's Day is a day for love, and if it is making sure that you are doing something so that you feel loved, no, we don't want to boil that, then that is important as well. Now you can see that we have lots of nice, beautiful dark chocolate here. Okay, might as well just put that right in there. Oh, look at that. Now this is going to be like a thick cream soup. And it is, I don't know, it's a dessert soup that we're going to have as part of our meal, if you choose to. If you want to save this for dessert, then you save it for dessert. Now I'm putting that entire 250 grams of dark chocolate into the pot. And then we are just going to very gently stir and stir and stir until this is completely melted. Now I am going to get a different spatula that has a little more oomph to it than that one does. Okay, come on. Yeah, this one is a pretty light one, so we're going to get one that's going to work a little better for us. Now you want to make sure that you keep stirring this. You don't want this chocolate to burn on the bottom of the pot, and I have it turned off right now, so I'm not worried about it burning on the bottom of the pot. But if you're doing it on a stove where you have to keep your attention in more than one place, then put it in a double boiler and do it that way. Okay. Now, as this chocolate melts and gets incorporated into the coffee and into the cream and the vanilla and the powdered erythritol and the cinnamon and the salt, it is just going to get more and more lovely. Okay, so I'm going to leave this turned off. I'm going to leave that chocolate to melt. And while we're doing that, I am going to, I need another little bowl here. I am going to get 2 egg yolks, and we're going to use these egg yolks along with a little bit of xanthan gum just to give this a little bit of a thicker, more velvety feel. But I want that chocolate melted first because I want the egg yolks in there just long enough to cook, but not, I want them in there when it's kind of a little bit cooler, and that way we don't have to worry about our egg yolks scrambling. That would be great. Okay, so I am just going to get these yolks right here, and I'm going to put the whites away for my lunch. That's going to be delicious. I'm going to add 2 more eggs to that a little later and make myself a mushroom omelet of some kind. Now I'm going to grab a fork. If I had it in a bigger bowl, I'd use a whisk. But since I don't, I'm just going to use a fork and whip this up a little bit. Now this is such an easy thing to do. And whether you're doing it for yourself or doing it for someone else, you can do this and put it in the fridge so you can make it a day ahead. And if by some strange little bit of weirdness you're living with somebody who doesn't like chocolate, well, that's more for you. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of this in here just to temper these eggs. This just stops when we put them in the pot with everything else and turn that heat back on. It's just going to stop everything from scrambling because the eggs are going to be just a wee bit warmer. Take your eggs out of the fridge half an hour or an hour or so ahead of time, and that way they're a little bit warmer that way as well. Okay, now let's get this back in here. And we are just going to keep stirring this until this chocolate is all incorporated in, and this is getting beautiful and thick. Now I'm going to turn the heat up on this, but just a low heat. I'm going to keep it on 1, just enough to keep some heat underneath it so everything keeps melting and keeps incorporating, and you want to make sure that you're stirring every single little bit of the pot. And this is going to be like a really thick cream soup. Now, some people like dark chocolate with hardly any sweetener in it. Some people like chocolate that is milk chocolate and they want it to be half sugar. I am somewhere in the middle, but that being said, I am going to add a little bit more sugar to this. And you know, it's important to remember to start small and work up. So we're just going to work that in there. That's another 1/4 cup, or about another 30 grams of sugar. And there are people that I know that if I were making this for them, I would stay right with the 30 grams. Part of it depends whether or not you're using granulated or powder, how it's going to react. Part of it depends on who you're making it for. Part of it depends on how dark the chocolate is that you're using. If you're using a milk chocolate or a semi-sweet chocolate, then you're not going to need as much. If you're using a pure dark chocolate like we just did, you're going to need a little bit more. So let's take another little taste test and see where we're going. Oh, that is lovely. Okay. Won't be using that one again so I can lick that spoon. Now I hope you're watching how beautiful and thick this is. And as it heats, everything is going to keep melting. You're going to end up with something that is beautiful and velvety and smooth. And it's going to be like a loose chocolate mousse or a thick soup. So we're just going to keep on keeping on. Now there are other things that we can do with this to dress it up and make it beautiful for Valentine's Day. So you definitely want to join me for Croissant Day on Sunday, because it is going to be wonderful and delicious. I thought about doing that today and actually had a request for it today, but decided that if I was going to do it, I needed a little more time than I had today, because I've been working on a few projects. So now you can see that this is getting smoother and silkier as this chocolate is melting in here. Oh, look how dark it's getting. That is a sexy pot of soup. That's what that is. Okay, yes, soup can be sexy, especially when it's made with this much chocolate. Okay, we're just going to keep on keeping on keeping on. Now, I want to show you a product that I really like. Now, this is, you can get true lemon, true orange, true grapefruit, true lime. I love this because this is just orange crystals, or lime or lemon crystals that have no carbs, no calories. And you can add it to a bottle of water. You could also, if you want that really intense orange flavor, you could add one of these to a pot of soup. Now, if you're buying this product, and you can get it lots of places, if you're buying this product, then you want to make sure that you are getting it at, I just realized here, there we go. I just realized you can get this in many different places. Make sure that you are buying the true lemon, lime, orange, whatever crystals. Do not buy the lemonade or the limeade or the orangeade or whatever. Now, if you're here with me today, say hi in the chat. If you've been here before, that's awesome. If there's something that you would like me to cook, or you have a favorite keto recipe that you'd like to see me share on here, let me know. What is your favorite keto food? Are you just starting to do keto, thinking about it, not really sure it's going to be right for you? You have a family member you wish would do it? I don't know. Where are you at? We're just going to clean up our mess here a little bit. Move this over here. Give this a little bit more of a stir. Now, one of the things that I really love about an induction burner is low is really low, and I can leave this for a minute without worrying about it burning. Okay, now let's clean up our mess a little bit. Oh yeah, we'll just start throwing stuff all over the place. There we go. Those, I gotta tell you, I got those at the dollar store. They are napkin rings. Now, I don't typically use napkin rings. Sometimes I do. Hey, Tammy. Hi, Dell. But these little plastic napkin rings, when I'm getting set up so that I can hang out with you guys, they are awesome for setting eggs in, and they don't go anywhere. And oh, this is just getting beautifuler and beautifuler. Do you like my grammar there? Beautifuler. Now, at this point, if you're in a hurry, you can absolutely take an immersion blender, just put it in here and turn it on holy wow, and that will smooth it right out. But the longer you let this melt, and I'm kind of suspecting that I'm going to use my immersion blender in here because, oh no, that is definitely chocolate. I always worry about my powdered erythritol getting a little bit clumpy, but it is not. This is still chocolate, and it is still melting and getting more and more beautiful and sexy and delicious with every passing second. So we're going to leave that for a minute. So yeah, I paid $1.25 for 8 of those, and I've got perfect little egg rings so they don't roll all over the place. Now, you want to, when you're serving this, you want to make sure that you're serving it in something beautiful and sexy. And what I'm using today is not necessarily beautiful and sexy, but it is a great vessel for serving something like this, and it depends on how you decorate it up. And on Sunday, you just really don't want to miss Sunday. Do you like croissants? Because croissants, I didn't eat them very often, but when I did, I absolutely loved them. And it is something that every now and again, I've seen something that makes me go, oh, I wish I could have one. So let's make sure that when you're having that, oh, I wish I could have one moment, that you can actually do something about it. Okay, we are getting there and getting there and getting there. Now I think, oh, look at how beautiful that's getting. Look at how lovely that's getting. You know, one of the things about using silicone software when you're working with something like chocolate is it comes off much more easily than it does off stainless steel. So that works nicely for me. Now the other thing that we can do, oh, come on. We can grab a whisk, just like this one. Oh, listen to my bells clanging. And let's give this a beat with the whisk, and this is going to help smooth out the last little lumps of chocolate that are hanging around. So if you've ever made a really thick homemade potato soup or mushroom soup or like a chicken gumbo, that kind of thing, that's kind of the consistency that we're going for here. And you can see that this whisk is just smoothing this out beautifully. And you definitely want to make sure that when you dish it up that you've got something beautiful and velvety. And okay, now look at the difference. We've got those last little melty bits of chocolate out of there. Now we're going to turn this right off. Okay, I'll put that aside and lick it later. Maybe. Okay, now when you're doing this, less is more, because this is really with whipped cream on top. That is velvety and wonderful. And remember, when you're adjusting the sweetness of your chocolate soup, you are going to be putting whipped cream on top that's sweetened, and the whipped cream sweetens the chocolate more. So don't go overboard on the sweetener, or you'll have something that's just sickly sweet. Okay. That is what I have for you today. I don't know what it is that you're planning on doing for Valentine's Day. If you want to share on the page, tell me what your plans are. Keep it PG, please. I'm talking about the food. Let me know what you're doing and what you'd like to see me do to help you with your keto journey. I am so grateful that you joined me. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching it later, I'm very glad that you could be here, and I hope that I see you on Sunday. You seriously do not want to miss these croissants, guys. They are going to be amazing. So join me on Sunday, 10 a.m. Mountain. And I said at the beginning of this that it was Wednesday. This is not Wednesday. This is Friday. And now we have that cleared up and my brain is on the right day. I will see you Sunday morning at 10 a.m. I will see you again Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. and every Friday at noon. Thank you very much for joining me. And do your very best to live your best version of this shining life. That's what I'm going to go and do while I eat my chocolate soup. I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.